Are just welcome, members of the media. Sorry for the short notice. I'll just hand you straight away over to the presidential candidate, Mr. Ramotar, who will offer comment to you.
I just wanted to respond very quickly to what I heard. I haven't seen the statement, but what I heard that the AFC at their press conference circulated a flyer with Mr. Ahmad's name on it for the activities that we had in New York a few weeks ago. Let me first of all say that that activity was organized by the Association of Concerned Guyanese, USA, which everyone knows supports the PPP very well, but it's not organized by the PPP. It has its own separate organizational structure, different from the PPP. But it supports the PPP. And however, I have no problem with them having Ed Ahmad's name on that document at that time, because at that time we had not known, and I don't think they had known, that Mr. Ahmad was under any kind of investigation. He was not charged with anything at that point in time. So I'd have no problems with that. The statement that we made was in response to the Moraro waves, which was saying that Ahmad was a major financer of our campaign. I want to repeat what was said in that statement, that Mr. Ahmad has not given a cent to our campaign in these elections. But I think also it gives me an opportunity to say what is the quality of the person we have in Mr. Ramjattan, who seems to be now taking every little thing to try to attack the PPP and government. I want to say I met Mr. Ahmad many years ago, a long time ago. The first time I met him was at the Pegasus Hotel. And that would have been somewhere before 2006, because Ramjattan was still a member of the PPP at that point in time. And it was Ramjattan who introduced me to Mr. Ahmad with glowing terms, a glowing introduction of the man, Ed Ahmad. And that was the first time I met him. And he was telling me what a wonderful man Mr. Ahmad was. And that's the first time I met him. And I want to also take the opportunity to say that, because just to expand on that a little bit, again, to repeat what I've said sometime before, that Mr. Ramjattan is making a lot of derogatory statement against the PPP in all manners of things. But the first quarrel that the PPP had that led eventually to his leaving the PPP, the very first issue that we had with him was when Mrs. Jagan and I invited him to a meeting to speak about the clients that he had, who were many, many smugglers and suspected smugglers and all types of people. In fact, we had a complaint from the then head of customs, Mr. Marks, who complained bitterly to us about the type of cases that Ramjattan was taking against many of the smugglers within the country, and he thought what Marx thought was something that he was doing was not proper. So we raised that with him, and that was the very first quarrel we had with him. He insisted that he's a lawyer and he defends these people who he likes. So for now, to trying to paint himself as in lily white garments, when he has been associated with all types of people, and for now for him to throwing in the PPP's face Mr. Ahmad, let me just say very frankly and upfront, I have no defense for Mr. Ahmad. I'm not defending Mr. Ahmad. I believe if you live in a country and you break the law in the country, you must face the consequences of the law and face the penalties of the law. I have no problem with that. If Mr. Ahmad comes to this country and breaks the law in this country, I expect him to face the full face of the law in this country. And I'm not. This is not in defense of him, but it is trying to deal with a smear campaign that has started by particularly the AFC, probably the broader opposition, but with the AFC itself, who I think has no moral right to say many of the things that they're saying. That's what I would like to say.